Thursday Night Football. Finally, it's here. Jets, Patriots. We have like a billion NHL games going on. Only 3 NBA games. Got some college hoops going on tonight. A big matchup between Purdue and Alabama. A lot of fun stuff to get into, guys. What's going on? Welcome to the stream, and I hope that you're having a fantastic Thursday. And for the next hour, guys, I am going to just bet everything that I have in my account on various different platforms and apps, showing you my favorite strategies, utilizing some sharp tools, breaking those strategies down so that you can implement these for yourself right away. Tail some of these bets. We're going to share some links. We got a lot to get into. I'm fired up. So let's start on my best friend, OddsJam. And let's look at their sharp money tool. We're going to focus on DFS first, PrizePicks, Underdog, Better, DraftKings Pick 6, Parlay Play. We'll look at some of those first, and then we'll kind of make our way into arbitrage and positive EV. But glad you guys were able to hang out with me for the next hour or so. Looking to put together some different slips. I shared earlier on X my free square on DraftKings Pick 6 for Drake May. There's also a free square on PrizePicks for Drake May. All he has to do is throw for 1 passing yard. So it's literally easy money out there. So I'm just going to look and scroll here first to see some PrizePicks plays. We have an Isaiah Jackson play where a couple of people want this at like minus 127, minus 126. Somebody really wants this at minus 116. This is a little low in liquidity for me. Just to kind of go through my filter setups here, guys. I have the main league selected, NFL, NBA, NHL. We're looking just at player props. I do have the DFS books selected that's available in my state. Not going to lie, though, at the moment here on PrizePicks, not overly enthused with the amount of money that's being wagered right now over here. Tommy, what's going on, man? What's going on, brother? So, and same like with Jared Allen. Like, I'm not saying these are bad plays, but from the sharp money tool, there isn't enough money out here, in my opinion, for myself, to really have a lot of confidence going after these plays. There's like $700. Like, who cares? Not a lot of dough. So we'll revert to, we have a couple of other options that we can take a look at. Number one, I can open up the EV tool. And I did have some NHL anytime goal scorers set up. But what we can do is just kind of reset everything. We can go to sports books and just say, yo, man, give me some PrizePicks plays. Like, just show me some PrizePicks plays for today. And let's devig to Pinnacle, right? Let me use a worst case. What do we have here? So they're saying this playing the Cavs and the Raptors is very good, up to minus 128 odds, which means we're playing 3-pick entries, no insurance. Minus 122 is what we're getting that at. So to be able to receive this over 4.5 rebounds, which, let me go over to the NBA here. Let's see. All right, we get this one. Cool. And then this is tennis, which I really don't care too much about, right? So then the next thing I can do is I can come over to the low holds page, right? If you find yourself in a bind, but you're using this software and you're like, bro, I can't find anything, right? We can either go PrizePicks or we can go like this. Bobby McMahon over 1.5 shots on goal. Pinnacle's got this at minus 129. Not bad. Not bad. Isaiah Williams under receiving yards. Don't know how I feel about that. Let me see if I can find a low hold to a sharp book or if there's a lot of liquidity out there. Braden Smith on his player points. I can't bet on collegiate props. So we'll go with Bobby McMahon. We'll go with this guy. He plays for Toronto. And this is going to be NHL. So we're going to have a little mix here. A little NFL, NBA, and NHL. We're going to grab his over 1.5 shots on goal. And again, this is a free square play, guys. So I'm going to share this with you guys here in the chat. A little different variation. Different ways to find these. But we get this play. So let me share this with you. Wilbo, what's going on, man? Evening. I'm a gold member. Just started a trial of platinum. I know you like MLB and tennis for live plus EV betting at this time of the year. Yeah, well, I mean, I love live betting NBA. I mean, I really live bet them all. I'd probably say I live bet hockey the least amount. But I definitely live bet the NFL and NBA quite a bit. NBA, it's mostly player props, but I do attack some mainline markets. I dropped a video on OddsJam's channel maybe a day or two ago showing you my favorite setup for NFL live betting. So I would definitely take a look at that video because it goes through my exact breakdown with Platinum and the custom EV formula. I'll drop the link here in the chat. Yeah, this video came out like a day ago. So if you're looking for NFL live betting, this would be the video that can answer those questions for you in terms of the setup. What's popping, Avart? Luis, I live in AZ too. I feel like I'm exposed on the DFS sites. It's what I mostly play limit on every sports book. What do you use to lay down big single bets? Oh, global sports books, props builder. I need the Bet 105, right? The copy Pinnacle's odds. I would look at Bet DSI, Bovada, Bet Online, Bookmaker, all those, MyBookie, Bet US. Those would be books that I utilize quite a bit. 4CX is an exchange. So those would be the options that I would go after if you are limited. Or I would also advise you to move to live betting, because even on books that you're limited on, you can still wager a solid amount on live. All right, so let's move off of PrizePicks here, because just not as much value as I was really hoping to see. And on some underdog plays, we talked about the Sandro play. We grabbed his over on his rebounds. Decent amount of money here. Decent amount on his over on his points as well. Okay. Also, I think on better guys, we have a couple discounts. We have a Spider Mitchell on his points, over 24.5. We also have a Travion Henderson. I prefer, if you guys are on better, I prefer the Donovan Mitchell play. He's just a little bit like when you're looking at these two right here, okay? So over here on better, you can see there's Henderson and Mitchell, okay? For me, Mitchell is a much more consistent player than Travion Henderson. Henderson's a rookie. Now, Ramondre was out last week. That's why Henderson had such a big game. If Ramondre is back for this game, then there's no guarantee that, like Travion Henderson, though all he needs is one real carry to bust one, because he's got that potential. I mean, you're just going to find more consistency with Donovan Mitchell. So I would much rather take this Donovan Mitchell boost than Travion Henderson based off the player profile. It's just, to me, it's a more safer, consistent. I know what I'm kind of getting with Spida compared to Travion. I don't really know. It's kind of a bag of mixed nuts. Not real sure. So if we wanted to grab Sandro here, obviously people want him at either -122, -125. We can get this at, a -120, I think 2 play on a 3-pick entry, which is fine. If there's anything else on better, not at the moment, at least on this tool. I probably can't. I don't know if I can pair this with Spider, but we'll have to see. If I come over here and I get rid of this and I say, hey, just show me some plays on better. We have 2. Again, over on rebounds. Kyle Filipowski, under on his points. This is devigging to Pinnacle right now, guys. All right. If we wanted to go another different direction here, we could say, do this to FanDuel. And we have a couple more results. Nurkic, under on his rebounds and assists. Looks like that just left. I don't know if that's coming back or not. Let me see. It's hard to say. But Filipowski, this seems to be a play. So I'll grab this for Filipowski. Pinnacle and FanDuel really like this under 9.5. Okay, so I'm cool with that. Great. What else? Matty Beniers, over on his shots on goal. I lean more Pinnacle here as the sharp book, but Pinnacle and FanDuel have the same odds here. Though this just dropped, which I don't really like seeing that. Cole Caulfield, these are really low edges. So if this continues to remain as a low edge, I don't know why this is moving all of a sudden, because it's not like anything else changed. Let's look at Pinnacle to see if they changed. I mean, FanDuel just dropped off a cliff here within the hour. So I'd still go with Matty Beniers. I'm fine with that. Over 1.5 shots on goal. He plays for Seattle. And so this is how I'm going to spend my Donovan Mitchell boost. And this is a 3-pick perfect play entry. I can only play this for $10, but I'll share this with you guys over here. So this is how we kind of use better, right? There's various different tools with OddsJam. Low holds tool, guys. Arbitrage tool. All these tools you can utilize and get creative with to find other ways to make your DFS slips. Saints fan, what's going on, man? No problem, Wilbo. No problem. Hefe Dub Club, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, so yesterday was a small winning day. Very small, less than a quarter of a unit. Mitch wants to see my results. Again, Mitch, I don't track any of my DFS results here, right? So $2,700. I'm up. Had a couple losing days, one yesterday. In Dub Club, we went up less than a quarter of a unit, so it's basically a break-even, small winning day. The card's already out for today, guys, so if you want to check that out, Mitch, hopefully this satisfies your request, man. If we're looking at like, if you want to see like, again, guys, if you want to follow my dashboard, you can do so right here. I'll drop this in here first. This is my odds jam dashboard. So if you want to check that out, you can do that, right? We'll do a quick rundown here because we have a lot of plays to get to, but want to make sure that I keep things transparent so you guys know I'm not bullshitting you. So here we go. I don't know how many people actually show this on streams because everyone in sports betting lies, but we brought back almost a 6% return off of our investment this month, $2,700. What's going on, Ken? How are you? So 145% of our bets. I'm not going to go through books and markets. Again, you want to check the dashboard out. It's all right there. What else do we got? What's going on, Saints fan? Yeah, so a small winning day yesterday on Dub Club. If you guys want to check out Dub Club, if you sign up for the 1 month or 3 month trial, you'll receive a 3-day free trial. Cal Shiavard, I have to take a look, man. We'll get there here in a second. Again, and that's where I would say Avard and Mitch, I know I'm trying to satisfy your request. If you want though to go to the front of the line, like if you want me to look at Kalshi right now, that's where becoming a channel member, $1.99 a month or $4.99 a month, and I will go right now and start looking for Kalshi plays. But otherwise, we're going to keep it moving in the direction. That's kind of the perks of being a channel member like Wilbo and like Ken, and so many others that are channel members here that are maybe just chilling right now in the background, is that I will literally move mountains to show you plays right there. So for those that aren't channel members, it's not that I don't feel your love or support. It's just that it's a busy time of the year and a lot of people want to see certain things. And so I try my best. Over here so Dub Club, guys, check that out. Various different packages, 1 month, 3 month. You get a 3-day free trial. It's $19.99 a month on the 1 month package. You can pay $9.99 a week, though that's not really great value. To be honest, you should probably just pay for the 1 month. But if you'd rather just pay $10, you can do that as well for just 1 week. And there's all the cards are out there. And if you sign up today, guys, you're going to obviously receive some of the plays for this weekend's football games I already sent out for NFL and college football. I sent some plays out yesterday. I'll send some more out tomorrow for sure. Underdog, let's look at, so all these plays for the Sharp Money Tour are a little low for me. Outside of Isaiah Williams, again, though, for a 3-pick entry, I'm okay getting this at minus 122. It's not awesome. It's just fine. Charlie McAvoy, same thing. Somebody's got $1,000 on him. Under 1.5 shots on goal. This would be a pick 6 play. Unless, because it's probably heavily juiced on underdog. So we'd have to put this on pick 6. So it depends on kind of the books and what we have going on. But a bit disappointing, not going to lie. Let's go over here. Where are we at? Let's go back to the EV tool to see what we have. So, and I did sign up for Bracco today, guys. So we're going to be hitting up some Bracco, however the hell you say it. This guy right here. This book, we're going to check it out as well. 3 picks. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of interested in. And let's go to pick 6. What do we got? Okay, we talked about this Filipowski play. Dyson Daniels over on his steals. This looks incredible to FanDuel. Oh, yeah, FanDuel drop off a cliff. So let's grab Dyson Daniels over 2.5 steals. Perfect. There's one. Nurk on his rebounds and assists. Again, yeah, this looks still really good. So it's dropped, but it's still a 1% edge to FanDuel, which is fine. I'm just trying to find plays that have an edge right now. And then what else do we have? Can't do Filipowski. Sharp Money Tool, we could do Isaiah Williams for the NFL. This is under 8.5 receiving yards. Basically, you're just hoping that he just doesn't do anything. And that's basically relying on Justin Williams to get it done. We're getting a little bit of a boost here, which I'm totally fine. I'm going to share this with you guys right here. There we go. I know. Yeah, I don't know. I understand, man. Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure that, I do the best I can to satisfy everybody. What's going on, Ron? Dr. Slips, have you thought about doing videos or streams reviewing people's trackers, dashboards? It's a good idea, Dr. Slips. I don't have links to everyone else's dashboards, right? But, we could obviously, if some of you share your links, we could do a video just breaking down, your dashboards and, like a bar rescue kind of thing. If you guys are willing to share it on Odds Jam. but kind of like a bar rescue type thing where I just kind of go in, deep dive, and take a look, see what's going on, and if we can change anything. What's going on, Aaron? How are you, man? Yeah, Mitch, Pickett is, so honestly, the updates with Pickett, here's the problem with Pickett. The problem with Pickett is right now my Pickett's pretty accurate, but you guys have to understand Pickett's difficult for me. I don't use very rarely now on any bet, on any sports books, I don't use my personal accounts, okay? My personal accounts got cooked like 3 years ago. So because I'm on P2s, it's difficult to link all the various P2s. And if I have more than one account on FanDuel, right, if I use, let's say, 2 FanDuel accounts, I can't link both of those FanDuel accounts to Pickett. So honestly, the OddsJam dashboard is the one thing that I go by the most, right? Also, Pickett does have some offshore books, but I'm not paying the pro plan to take a look at like everything that they have going on. So Pickett is tough. Once you get into a spot where you use multiple accounts or multiple, P2 accounts, it's very difficult to try to link all those together. And so Pickett's like not the best. I know a lot of people, go by Pickett, and there's a lot of things that, you can share links with Pickett. It's just very difficult for me. Or sometimes I don't open up the app. That's why it's not updated, because I just don't open up the app all the time. So understand, if you guys are following me on Pickett, it's pretty hit or miss. I'm sure Mitch knows that. Obviously, guys, Shane Pinto, I would be willing to bet this if it was on Hard Rock. Anywhere else, not really. But if you want to bet Pinto, looks like this just dropped off a cliff. Maybe Pinnacle updated their odds. Yeah, this is maybe not good anymore. Trying to figure out what's going on here. But that's the tough part with Pickett. That's why the OddsJam dashboard is the best, because that's where I use everything. When I go back and look for data and look for bets and try to find edges in certain sports and markets, I always export my OddsJam dashboard. So my OddsJam dashboard is very, very clean with my single straight bets. DFS parlay stuff, especially DFS, that's all Pickett. But for straight wagers, it's over there. And that's something that I pretty much recommend to a lot of people if we get on a coaching call or anything like that. Like, saves a lot of time not having to go through and add these manually on OddsJam for parlays. It's a pain in the ass on OddsJam to add parlays. It's just terrible. I don't know if they haven't maybe thought of a fix for it, but it's just not there. College sports. We're looking at some college sports with Bookmaker. We're looking at today. Bookmaker is a sharp of mine. Again, I do use the custom EV formula, guys. It's just that on the streams, it just takes way too long to get into. So we'll jump into some college plays. We'll take a look at some arbitrage plays. We'll look at some more DFS books for my Dabble. All those users over there, if anyone else is taking that look, we'll take a look at that. We have Thursday night football plays to get into. We got 3 NBA games, a bunch of NHL games. Unfortunately, the NHL anytime goal scorers, it's a big slate tonight, and it's just not seeing a whole lot at the moment. All right, so if we're looking at this, again, guys, if you don't have Sports Zeno, I still open this play up just to see, is there any other book that maybe has this, like plus 102, plus 101? Is there anyone out there that maybe has this? If not, then we'll just keep it moving. Jazz Sports is an offshore sports book. I have an account with them. I don't use them very often. 4CX, though, guys, if you see this, like, here's what I'm saying, like plus 106, maybe at an exchange out here in Arizona, 4CX at plus 102, maybe, though this is a lower edge, it's 1%. But I really think that Bookmaker on game day is very, very sharp. And so I'm willing to go after some plays when it comes to them and their odds. While Pinnacle takes some decent money here, Bookmakers normally taking anywhere between 2 to 5x the amount of money that Pinnacle is. So if Pinnacle's taking $3K and I pulled up Bookmaker right now, Bookmaker might be taking like $10,000 to $15,000. So let me go ahead and pull up Bookmaker so I can just kind of look at some limits. But if you guys have ProfitX, I would bet K-State -7 tonight for hoops. Charleston Southern and Alabama A&M. These are 2 small schools. We talked about this yesterday, guys. Onyx is back on FanDuel's dick. They are back to copying FanDuel's odds. So they're no longer following DraftKings. They're back to FanDuel. So if you have an Onyx account, you now have access now to FanDuel instead of DraftKings. It just seems like that. It's not always the case, but here it is. And so if I'm looking at right, but like Pinnacle's only taking $500 here. So if I go over here to Alabama A&M and I'm looking at this at -102. So Charleston Southern +1. Bookmakers got this at +1 instead of +1.5. The +1.5 they have at -116. They're taking almost $1,200. So they're taking double the amount of money that Pinnacle is. So I lean more here. But again, this isn't a lot of money. These are two small schools. I would open this up to look at like odds movement, line movement. We can see that bookmakers moving a lot within the last hour, which is what we want to see from a sharp. So I'm going to go ahead and take I'll just, a little sprinkle here. I'm not going to bet probably 130. I might just bet $100 on this on FanDuel. Trent, how's it going, my friend? Luis, not really sure. It might be just a different odds payout there on that. Even if it is off by 0.1, I wouldn't lose sleep over it. It'd still be fine to grab. So over here on FanDuel, we're looking at Charleston Southern +1.5 point spread. And -102. What's the max wager size? Probably not a lot. $600. That's pretty good as we get closer. Here, I'm just going to go $100, or we'll go 102 to profit $100. And for those of you that are looking to grab FanDuel, I'm trying to do this a little bit more often. It's easier with FanDuel, but there's the link there if you want to grab it. Okay. So we're in here for 100. Again, it's only 2% edge, but I do like that movement from Bookmaker. I like that a lot. And then speaking of another two small schools, the under here on UL Monroe, Houston Christian. Again, if Pinnacle's only taking $250, like it's kind of tough. This is the problem with going after small schools. I kind of find myself on the fence from time to time. It's not always something I really enjoy doing. If we come over here and just, you don't have to worry about, figuring out that puzzle. We are going to look for the Thursday Night Football $1 million promo boost over there on FanDuel for the touchdown jackpot. We're going to definitely take a look at that. Arbitrage, more books that you have, more money that you can make. Pretty simple. ProfitX, almost $900 on RJ Barrett on his overmade threes. You could bet the under on Bovada. You can make almost a 3% return off your investment. It's pretty damn good, right? And with Bovada, they'll let you normally bet some higher amounts for player props early on. Then they'll give you the axe. But again, if you could bet $250 on ProfitX, or maybe you just take this up to $250 over here, right? And who cares if you bet loose change on ProfitX? Because ProfitX won't limit you. They don't care if you do. So bet the loose change on ProfitX. Bet your even round number. And something that's important to note, guys, when you're arbitrage betting with these two books, as we mentioned before, Novig, ProfitX, they don't care what type of bet size you put in. You want to put in loose change on ProfitX, no problem. So make sure your wager size on Bovada is a nice round number, whether that's $250, whether that's $100, right? Because ProfitX doesn't care what you bet. So make this look like a casual sports bettor number. Don't bet $114. Don't bet $126. Make this end in a 0 or in a 5. Make it nice and neat because ProfitX doesn't care. So that's something that's important to note when you're arbitrage betting with a rec book and one of these exchanges, right? If you're going Ballybet here and no vig, then get the number right on Ballybet. Who cares what no vig wants, right? As long as there's enough liquidity, which for Neil Pionk here to get a point tonight for the Jets, there's over $500. So make sure that you get this number nice and clean on Ballybet so that, you could bet 95, 85 over there on Novig. That's kind of something that I haven't mentioned recently, but something that you guys want to definitely be aware of. Yeah, Ron, I don't have it on. I mean, obviously I'm in Arizona, so I think it's probably on like YouTube TV, but again, we don't get ESPN. I have to put it on like Disney Plus probably and watch it. Having some Wi-Fi issues with my TV right now, just this TV. So, but yeah, it is a big backyard brawl. It's not football, but it is a big deal for hoops. And I'm a bigger Pitt Hoops fan, but I do not expect Pitt Hoops to be good at all this year. And outside of arbitrage betting, guys, make sure that you're going after some middle betting opportunities as well. Looks like we don't have a ton at the moment. Anything? Nothing. All right, there's nothing out there right now. If I drop this to like -2, is there more? Yeah, there's a lot more. So again, I don't like to go after plays that are above a -0.5% because you're really starting to give money back to the books. But if you wanted to take this up to a -1%, Alabama and Purdue here, this is a 1% loss. You could bet this over on FanDuel and DraftKings, right? You bet 250 on DraftKings. I normally like to play around with this to get this a nice and neat number on both sides. So I just keep going until I'm like, okay, 215 on DraftKings, $55 on FanDuel. You're going to lose roughly $3 if anything else happens in this college basketball game. But if Alabama wins by 13 points, then you cash both bets. So you're really wagering $3 to make around $267 of profit. Middle betting, guys, I think is a much better alternative than placing like a 7-leg parlay at plus 100,000 odds. I think you'll find more success with middle betting for $1 to $3 at a loss. Again, though, normally I don't go after plays this high in a loss range, but you can if you want to. Obviously, we don't see anything at the moment that's a negative %. Southern Miss and Grambling. If you want to kind of dial in the odds a little bit more so that's more realistic, then I would say, like minus 130 to plus 130, right? Look for some plays in this range. And now you're going to find some plays that are a little bit more realistic. Drake May on his rushing yards. If my man gets 28 rushing yards, cash the over on ESPN Bet, cash the under on Hard Rock, right? So make sure, if you don't want to bet the plus 300s, the minus 400s, then bring this into like a plus minus 130 or plus minus 125. You'll find more flip of a coin type of opportunities with these bets. That's where I think you guys can find some success. I would rather bet all of these plays on this screen, take maybe a $10 loss if none of them hit. But if one hits, then we're making at least $50 to $100 in profit, right? Then maybe instead of placing like a 9-leg parlay, at plus 50,000 odds. To me, this is just a more realistic chance of actually cashing. Appreciate that. Ramo, no. We haven't looked at Dabble yet, man. Trust me, we'll get there. We're kind of bebopping around a little bit. We looked at PrizePicks and Underdog and DraftKings Pick 6. We'll get to Dabble here in a little bit. There we go. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's definitely a good idea. So if you guys are willing to, we can kind of look at, kind of do a bit of a review of some of your dashboards. If you want, you can just DM me on Twitter. You can send me your dashboard link. And I can either make a live stream or it's just a dedicated live stream where we go through some different ones, but we can take a look at it. So kind of like some free breakdowns, right, for you guys if you want to take a look at that. All right, so we were looking at some positive EV. Let's go back over the Sharp Money tool. And we were looking at, I have Dabble selected as the books, right? I have Dabble down here, 3 picks, pick 6. I got all the major sports teed up. No Dabble value to speak of. Again, if you go over to the Fantasy Optimizer, it's going to be a slightly different story, hopefully, right? They also have Dabble Shields here, guys. So if you want to play Shields, that's a little bit different. Obviously, I don't really play any Dabble because where I live. But if you want to, you can do that as well, right? So 3 pick entries for any Dabble users right here, right? I don't really like seeing first quarter points. So I would kind of move off of this. I like to see more data points here. So we talked about Sandro over on his points. I like that a lot. FanDuel and Pinnacle agree on this price. This is a great play over 8.5. He plays for Toronto. If Jakob Poeltl, not really. If you can bet college props, I hate betting college props. This is for Saturday, so I don't really care about this. Larry Nance, under points and rebounds. This looks very good to FanDuel, even though it's only the under 10 instead of 10.5. That's fine. Not the best of options. I'm not going to lie here. NCA over on his rebounds and assists. I would play this. I would play Filipowski under on his points and rebounds. And then I would go after Sandro for sure. So there it is. Okay. Let's get back over and let's take a look at some positive EV. And we were looking at college hoops. Not a ton. Again, some smaller schools. We're in non-conference play right now, so we don't have the biggest and the best. Again, you start to see something like this, guys, like Green Bay and St. Thomas. You see someone that wants this minus 117, they want the under 151, right? If someone puts up $3,400 on no vig, that means if they put it up at plus 117, they want the under at minus 117. Naturally, minus 117 is a pretty good price. If I could actually get this at Bet Now, this is how you can incorporate the positive EV tool with the sharp money strategy. You could just say, hey, hold on, wait a minute. Like, this is more money than what Pinnacle's taken. And if this guy's offering plus 117, that means he wants minus 117. And he wants it for a lot of dough. And these aren't two large schools. They're very small. So that would be an indicator to me to say, you know what? Maybe we want to bet this under, or maybe you just don't touch it at all, right? If it's too confusing of a puzzle for you, just don't bet it. Is this real on BetMania? I would love to grab this if this is actually real on BetMania. This is a global sports book. Very rarely do I see their logo pop up, so I kind of just get a bit intrigued when it pops up. I dropped a video yesterday, guys, on the channel going over arbitrage betting. So if you guys are new to arbitrage and you want to see that, go check out the channel. New sharp money tool breaking down new custom plus EV formula video came out in the OddsJam channel a couple days ago. Check that out. I should have. Did I not drop the link? I think I dropped the link. Here. For those of you that want to see that custom EV formula, there it is. I'm just taking a quick gander here at K-State. Yeah, it's out there. Oh, it's out there, and this is nice. Okay. I have a large rollover with this book, so we'll go in for a 157, spot 5. Okay. Cool. We'll go a little bit above that, but that's fine. Love being able to work through that rollover. All right, so let's take a look at some props. And let's look at some Thursday Night Football props. So let's kind of go over here first, and we're going to look at this FanDuel promo. Right, FanDuel's got this promo going on for the touchdown jackpot. We've hit this a couple times this season. Twice by my count that we've hit this. So make sure that you guys go into the promos under FanDuel and take a look at it. All right, and we're going to take a look and see what we got here. Arturo, the first time you ever seen it? Appreciate you sharing that, Mikey. Maybe, yeah. It's different. I don't know if you mean like on the main screen here, man. So let's look at some player touchdowns. Again, with this promo, you just have to bet $5. If you bet more money on this, it doesn't mean that you'll make more money on the bonus. We need someone to score an anytime touchdown, and we need them to be either the first touchdown score or the last touchdown score. So all I'm going to do is just come over here. I'm going to move myself down in the bottom right-hand corner. And I'm just going to look to see if FanDuel shows up in bright green. I'm all about simplifying the process, guys. Adrian Smith, maybe. Demario Douglas. This looks decent. This looks pretty good. I like Demario. That's an early front runner. I like to see where Pinnacle has the actual odds for some of these player props. So like Jelani Woods, like Pinnacle doesn't have odds, so I don't really care. Justin Fields isn't bad. And if Justin Fields, if the Jets are going to score touchdowns, probably Breece Hall or Justin Fields running it with his legs. Okay, so it's really Justin Fields or Demario Pop Douglas. So what I can do is come up here to the top, right? And the first thing that I'll do is I'll just come to Fields, right? And he's at 350. So I want to remove Pinnacle's VIG, right? Because I want to see what the fair odds are for Fields. And the fair odds are plus 312. So getting this at 350 is EV, guys, to Pinnacle. Right now, we could say we could figure out which one has a more EV edge play, right? And all you have to do over here is just pull up an expected value calculator, right? And honestly, you're going to have to pull up also an odds converter calculator and say, all right, well, Pinnacle thinks this is 312 as the fair value, which is 24.27. We're getting this at 350. What's a $100 wager? That's about 9.21% EV edge. Okay. So the Fields play is about a 9% edge. Okay. This is how you would figure out, guys, what's what when you're trying to figure out your edge. This is the manual way to do it, which is important to learn as a sports bettor. So we're getting Pop Douglas at 420. And let's remove the VIG here at the top. And it's 364. So 364 is 2155. And this is about a 12% edge. So Demario Douglas is a 12% EV edge play, where Fields is just a 9%. But Fields has a little bit higher likelihood of getting into the end zone. Okay. So it all depends on really what you want. I'm going to go with the high EV edge play. I'm going to go with Demario Douglas. And again, I'm just going to bet him for $5. So this is a pregame bet that you have to grab. And we're looking for the anytime TD, which is the first column right here. And then make sure that you select this. And again, I'm just betting $5. Nothing too crazy here. So that's what I'm going with my touchdown jackpot entry. But if Fields is also a good play, so you have two options there. Whoever you prefer, no problem. The problem with the Patriots are kind of like the Bills. They got a great quarterback, and then they got a lot of options. Drake May has a lot of options to throw the ball to, and sometimes it's Mac Hollins, sometimes it's Steph Diggs, sometimes it's Hunter Henry. There's kind of an assortment of players that he could throw the ball to. It's a little bit more predictive with Justin Fields. You know, if they get around the goal line, what's going to happen? So I'm totally fine if you want to bet the Justin Fields play. Honestly, though, for an anytime touchdown score, I'm going to come back over here, and if my math was correct, then we should see this pop up for an NFL anytime ATD. But I don't see this right now. Football, Pinnacle, additive. Like, why are we not seeing this? That's my question. That's because I probably got the parameters too wide. There we go. So, yeah, this is a little bit, so maybe not as high EV of an edge, but still to Pinnacle, 375 to 260. These are totally fine if you want to bet these straight up. Mac Hollins, while he's a longer shot play over on a Canby Sportsbook, Mac Hollins looks very good to Pinnacle if you wanted to bet Mac Hollins ATD. I'm okay with that. I am, though, going to go after Justin Fields as just a straight bet, guys. You could bet it at DraftKings. You could bet it at FanDuel. He's at 350. And I'm not going to go crazy on this one. I'll probably go in for about 75. Let's just go for an even 100. I like that a little bit more. So if you guys want this, I'll share the link with you guys. Again, don't be afraid to do any of the two. All right, so that's the Jay Fields play. If I wanted to go back into this, let's add this. Again, guys, BetTracker.gm's free. Highly recommend that you try it out. Demario Douglas, hard for me to ignore this if I want to go back to the well again and bet this. So I'm going to go back and grab this as well. I'm going to put a little bit more on him, and I'll go for a 125 spot. I'm kind of ignoring the bet sizing at the moment. That's all right. I'm okay with that. And then Mac Hollins obviously is very good as well. This is a little bit outside my range. I normally bet anytime touchdown scores, but I'm still fine with it. All right, so let's go Pinnacle. Let's go worst case. Let's go this in general. Let's kind of tighten up the odds range now. Let's do this actually a little bit more. Let's do this again. Let's go minus 150 to a plus 130. So that's a nice and tight odds range here. We just have 8 plays at the moment. Tyler Johnson, this might be a Sportzino only play. Actually, it's not. Anything that's above plus 124 odds is EV. Slightly EV on FanDuel and ESPN Bet. A bit better on DraftKings. Let's see if Pinnacle moved, though. Oh, yeah, baby. Pinnacle just moved quite a bit. So we're looking at Tyler Johnson under 1.5 catches. I don't know if he plays for the Jets or the Patriots. But, okay. And so the next best odds would be at DraftKings at 129. And so at 129, this is about a 2.25 edged, so 2.25%. I don't mind this play if you want to go over here on Tyler Johnson and grab this. Again, this game starts fairly soon. Cowboy, do I have fantasy picks? Do you mean like fantasy football, or do you mean like the daily fantasy sites like Underdog and PrizePicks? Appreciate you asking that. So let me look at when this game starts. This game starts in about an hour and change, okay? So I don't mind that. You can grab his under on his receiving yards on FanDuel as well. This is about a 2.5% edge play. Again, Pinnacle dropped off a cliff about an hour ago. We love seeing this. Minus 113 to minus 131. That's, what, 18 cents movement? That's a lot. That's a lot. So since I'm already over here, I'm just going to grab his under on his receiving yards. This is Tyler Johnson. He plays for the Jets. I don't know if you've seen Justin Fields throw the football. Against my Steelers, he lit them up. Against everybody else, basically, he sucks. So, and the Patriots have a good defense. So I'm going to go in for this as well, going for just 150. All right. All right, so we're looking for some Thursday Night Football, just player prop bets. Again, share this with you guys out here. Yeah, PrizePicks Cowboys for life. Yeah, man, we went over that in the beginning of the stream. We normally always go over fantasy picks for about the first 20 minutes of the stream. We go through DFS. It's a little bit different today, but we went over Underdog and PrizePicks and Better and DraftKings Pick 6, showed a little dabble as well. So, yes, yeah, we already hit that up at the very beginning of the stream. The streams always start out, when I start at 9 a.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Eastern, I always start with DFS for about the first 15 to 20 minutes. All right, so that's Tyler Johnson. Let's do a refresh here on Penny. Arian Smith, this is on Bookmaker, guys, or Prime. If you guys live in a state like Ohio or Kentucky that has Prime, you can hit this up as well. In general, and Prime just copies Bookmaker's odds. Bookmaker is a sharp book. But again, when I see movement like this from Pinnacle, I can't ignore this. It's hard for me to ignore. So Arian Smith, I'm going to pull up my Bookmaker account, or I already had it pulled up. So let me check this. Do I got any money in here? Oh, yeah, I got a little bit of dough in here. So I can't showcase this to you guys, me actually placing the bet, but trust me, I am. And we're looking at the under on his receiving yards. This, to me, is going to be either a massive blowout by the Patriots, but I expect it to be low scoring. We'll see. $230. Oh, man, that's a little rich for my blood. I'll go in, though, we'll go for 2. And I actually got this at minus 107, which is really nice. All right, we got some bigger bets out there. But again, guys, on months like this where I'm having a really solid month, kind of share those results with you at the beginning of the stream, I'm more than happy to kind of go after some bigger plays. No problem at all. Let's not ignore this Kyle Williams play for a second. Is there any movement here? There is, but I don't like the movement that I'm seeing. Yeah, not so much. I'll stay away from that one. Let's take a look at some NBA props, and then we'll look at some, we'll pull up the sharp money tool to look at some hockey props. Been really preferring to use NBA props for the sharp money tool for NBA props and for hockey props. It's been really, really good. I've bet, this is the most hockey that I've ever bet in my 4 years. It's by far been my most successful NHL season. I'm crushing the NHL this year. A lot of goal scores, but I've also been betting a lot of shots on goal. Haven't been betting too many assists or points. But let's look at FanDuel as the DVIG worst case. And again, let's tighten this up. Let's take a look at what we have here. All right, so naturally, guys, there's a lot of Hard Rock. There's a lot of Sportzino. I like to take a quick peek to see if there's any other books outside of Sportzino that have similar odds. In this case, there really isn't. But over on Bet Rivers, you can get this at minus 124 odds, which, again, it's not nearly as good as plus 100, but this is still a 4.5% edge. Dyson Daniels over 2.5 steals. If you wanted to bet this, if you wanted to put this on a PrizePicks underdog entry, as we did earlier, DraftKings Pick 6, this would definitely be fine to go ahead and do so. Dabble as well, 3-pick slip, cool with that. Rebounds and assists is a market that Pinnacle does not offer, so this is where I really lean on FanDuel a little bit more. Speaking of Dyson Daniels again, when I click into FanDuel, guys, this is why I love using my laptop, because I like to see movement from books. By the way, guys, my trip this weekend to Flagstaff is on pause because the weather is going to be crap. So I'm going to be going to Flagstaff next weekend, so there's going to be normal streaming on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. So it's going to be just the normal schedule like it always is. So I don't really like this play as much. I just kind of want to stay away from that one. Jalen Johnson under on points. Is anybody else offering any kind of value? Unfortunately, no. This is a Hard Rock only play, so we'll move on from this. But I do like to check these Hard Rock plays because there might be other books that are offering some value. Most times, though, it's not the case, right? For my Bovada people, Markkanen under on his rebounds. Anything below minus 145 is a good play, or under minus 146. This is a slim edge, though, on Caesars. I wouldn't bet that. It's a bit better over on Bet Rivers, any Canby Sportsbook, guys. It's about a 2% edge. That's okay, but not so much. Speaking of Bet Rivers, Evan Mobley, under 35.5 PRA. This looks, let's see. Yeah, I like this movement here. This is nice movement here from FanDuel. They were at minus 144. They're now at minus 152. That's an 8-cent movement. So Bet Rivers, you could grab this. Anything below minus 129 is decent. It's okay at Hard Rock. That's pretty much it. This is a Canby Sportsbook play only, but if you have Canby, get it. Ballybet's not offering the under, but it is being offered on Bet Rivers. So take a look at that. Risharia under on his points and no vig for $500. Yeah, I don't see an issue with this. Let's take a look. Okay. Pinnacle and FanDuel agree here. Bookmaker's a little bit off by 12 cents. I'm still fine with this if you want to grab it. No problems. What else do we have? Quickly under on his threes on Bovada. But again, a lot of these plays, no vig. You can get this at minus 131. That's great. I can get this at 4CX. But again, this is only a 2.87% edge, guys, and we're looking at like this. We're starting to get down to like the if you play this on 4CX or no vig, we're now starting to get into like the 1.5% range that we're actually receiving value on these plays. It's kind of like where I draw the line, right? Jakob Poeltl, like if you can get this on a Canby book, great. Outside of Canby, maybe a Bet 105 or bookmaker, but I want to see the movement here on his points, over 9.5 points. Big movement here by FanDuel. They were at minus 118, back to minus 122. A little bit of movement here from Pinnacle, but I don't mind going after this on Bet Rivers. I wouldn't go bet this on bookmaker. All right, let's take a look at the Sharp Money tool. Let's take a look at some NHL shots on goal. So let's take a peek. A lot of NHL games tonight. We got player props set up. Cool. Let's go Pinnacle limit of $250. Let's go liquidity of, let's go $3,000. Do we have anything at all that shows $3,000? We got 9 plays. All right, so we want some serious multipliers here. So here's a great example. Jaden Schwartz, over 2.5 shots on goal. Somebody has almost $14,000 on this play. This is stupid. Like, are you kidding me, man? 14 grand. Somebody wants this at plus 140 odds. You can bet this at the same odds. You can get this 145 at Hard Rock. You can bet this on DraftKings, ESPN Bet, Caesars, Canby, a lot of other books. Obviously, FanDuel's at plus 120. So feel free to bet this wherever you want. I'm probably going to go over to DraftKings to bet this right now. This is insane. I mean, this is why we talk about like multipliers of Pinnacle. So really, ESPN Bet, DraftKings, Caesars, Hard Rock, Canby. Any of those books. Feel free to have some fun with it. I'm also going to just take a quick little peek here. Because I haven't mentioned this. I just want to take a peruse really quick over here. This is what the Jets and the Kraken. All right, we're looking at what? Jaden Schwartz. Yeah, it's actually plus 145. Also, guys, on Bet365. Hard Rock and Bet365 have the same odds for this one. This one's insane. So I'm going to grab this over on Bet365. Haven't heard me say that book in a while, but they have the same odds at plus 145. So Bet365, Jaden Schwartz. Tommy, first goal scorer? Yeah, that's not a market that I've ever really bet before, to be honest. I can, look one up here in a little bit and give you my honest take. So this Jaden Schwartz plays there's just so much money on this. Gabriel Landeskog. This guy's starting to become a nemesis of mine as well. I've been betting his unders for a bit, and he's been always getting 2. But under 1.5 shots on goal, he plays for the Avs. Someone has $5,500 on this. Again, guys, these are multipliers of Pinnacle. So this is like a gazillion X times what Pinnacle's limit is, right? These are plays that I would have a lot of confidence in compared to, well, really all of these are above 3,000. So, right, that's kind of why we set this as such a high bar. So somebody wants this at minus 124 odds. You want to play this on PrizePicks, guys, be my guest. You can get this at minus 120 on ESPN Bet, Canby Sportsbooks, minus 124. Minus 125 on DraftKings is fine. Hard Rock's the same. Bovada here is the same. I'm totally fine with betting Landeskog under his shots on goal. That's no problem. So again, I'm on Bet365. I'm just curious to see if they have the same types with the shots on goal. They actually, holy shit. If you guys have Bet365, the under 1.5 is at minus 105. So that looks really, really, really good as well. So we'll grab a little bit of Landeskog at minus 105 over at Bet365. So obviously, guys, if you do have a Bet365 account, I know it's not up here, but if you see the Sharp Money tool, I know OddsJam hasn't supported it. Just open up your Bet365 app and take a peek, because that's a really good play at minus 105 for Landy under 1.5. One of these days, his under is going to cash. Oh, and then the other dude that I hate with a passion, Mason Marchment. Somebody wants his over 1.5 shots on goal at minus 136. He's actually hit his over the last couple of games, just because I hate this guy and I actually pay attention to what he's doing. ESPN Bet and Hard Rock, you can get this. You can get this at minus 140 on DraftKings. That's great. I probably wouldn't go up to minus 155 on Caesars or Fliff or Fanatics. Not a little too rich. For my props builder people, it's a little too high, to be honest. 14 cents off the price is a bit too high. And I think I have $100. Let me take a look. Since I'm on a Bet365 kick, we just bet one player on the Jets game. Let's take a look and see this again. For Mason Marchment, over under shots on goal. He's at minus 125. So a very good price on Mason Marchment. I only have $100, but I'll definitely bet this over here. Minus 125, guys, at Bet365. Again, I know most of you are probably very limited on Bet365. I know we haven't talked about this book a lot, but these are two great prices on Landeskog and Mason Marchment. Can't ignore that one. Someone's willing to put $5,600 down. Puck drops in about 3 hours. It's pretty good. And then last but not least, Jack Roslovic. He actually now plays for Edmonton. For the longest time, he played for Columbus. I thought he was still on Columbus. He's a Columbus kid, but he's actually playing for the Oilers. And these two teams just squared off a couple days ago. They're going at it again. Somebody wants him at plus 124 odds on his over 2.5 shots on goal. Again, guys, something similar with shots on goal. DraftKings and ESPN Bet offer a lot of value. They're kind of very similar with their pricing. So you can grab this at ESPN Bet or Fanatics. I'm fine getting this at DraftKings. I would say probably not on FanDuel. And for those of you, even though I'm out of cash on my Bet365 account, for those of you that have a Bet365, it's at plus 140. Holy shit. Yeah, Bet365 is offering the value. So I think I know what I'm going to be betting over at 365. A lot of shots on goal. But I'm going to go over to DraftKings right now and fire this up. So this is something, guys, that could be viable for my Bet365 people is shots on goal. Right? And if you have, like I said, if you have it, any of these, whether it's NBA or any, just take a look at what 365 has. So we're going to look at some NHL here. Roslovic, Oilers Jackets. This game starts in under an hour, so this is a good time to grab it. Make sure, guys, you go to his over-unders on his shots on goal on DraftKings. Do not just take his 2, or don't take his 3+, because normally it's a crappy price. Yeah, I mean, here's a great example of this, right? So I'll kind of showcase this, what I mean by that. When you come over to DraftKings and you go to shots on goal, the first thing you're presented with is this menu. This menu is absolute dog shit because they're giving you Roslovic at 3+, over 2.5 at plus 115 odds. When you scroll down here, you're getting the same line at plus 120. DraftKings is banking on you that you either don't know what you're doing or that you're lazy. And so and that's why they do it. They try to trick you. They always try to rip you off. So make sure you scroll down to the over-under section. We always, when we're betting these shots on goal, guys, we're always betting the over-under section. Do not take the 2+, the 1+, the 3+ menu. Don't do that. And I'm going to go in for, let's try this out. See if we can do that. Okay. We're going to go in for 125. Decent price. All right, if we expand this and we say, you know what, let's move this down. Instead of 3,000, let's just take this at, $2,000, right? And then when we come down here, you're going to see a couple other people. Arturi Lehkonen plays for the Avalanche. Under 2.5 shots on goal. Again, somebody wants this at minus 144. You can get this, at minus 140. Good play over on DraftKings, Canby Sportsbook, bingo, Caesars, bingo. Better play at Caesars and Canby and Hard Rock. I'm going to probably try to grab this at Hard Rock now. And because I know I got a little money over there. But this is something, guys, that I've really been focusing a lot on this NHL season. You know, everyone knows about the goal scores, but I've been really focusing a lot of my time and efforts on the sharp money tool for betting shots on goal. And so I would highly recommend that you guys that have the sharp money tool, I've gotten some very positive results betting NHL shots on goal. Again, you guys kind of know me from baseball season. OGs and DGens know if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I just beat the wheels off these books on the same markets, on the same sports. And even when I'm limited, I will still go back after those books and attack them. So, you know, this game's in about 2 hours, a little bit further down the road. But if you want to grab Lehkonen, I'm going to go over here on Hard Rock and grab that. And it's a juicy play, so you can normally bet a little bit more, which is nice. All right, so let's take a look at some, at this moment, let's take a look at some NBA props. Don't mind if you guys want to take a look at that McAvoy play as well. It's totally cool with me. Yeah, Christian, we're going to do that down the road. I just need to get some more bets under my belt. There's not enough data really at this time for me to make a video based off of the sharp money tool. I think I only have probably 60 or 70 bets. So that's probably a video that I would make in like February or March. You know, we get really deep in the NHL and NBA season, and then that's when I can like go back and like go through and review those two sports and talk about that, right? So great idea. I appreciate you bringing that up. I definitely think that'll be something that'll come out in early 2026. Just need to kind of give this tool a little bit more time on what's going on. All right, so we don't have any pinnacle limits at the moment, which is fine. DeAndre Hunter, can you get this anywhere else? So this is one of those plays, guys, with Hunter. Someone wants this at minus 135. His under 2.5 assists he plays for Cleveland. The problem here is like, it's still 11 cents off the DraftKings. That's really on the edge for me to say, I don't know if I want this. So up to you guys if you want to grab this on Hard Rock or DraftKings on this Hunter play. It's kind of on the edge. Donovan Mitchell under 6.5 assists. Somebody wants this at either minus 132 or minus 133. Props builders at minus 130. FanDuel's at minus 138. This is decent liquidity, almost $2,000 here. I'll go in for a little bit of action when it comes to this. So where's my props builder at? We'll come over here and hit this up. Robert, do I recommend any sharp money? Again, Robert, not trying to be a tease, but it's a little too early for me to say. You know, it's too small of a sample size to have 60, 70 bets and to really give an actual opinion on it. I need to get a lot more bets. I need to get like 500 to 1,000 bets, and then I can really tell you, is it worth it? But to be able to see, like, one thing that's for certain, and I don't know if we can go back and view it. If we can, it's incredible. But to see this play on this, I can't remember his name, this Jaden Schwartz play, this is insane. This is insane. You don't see this kind of money on player props. I shouldn't say you don't see this. This is something that is just, this is not like someone's trying to deep fake the people at Odds Jam out. Like, this is serious money. You can't even wager this kind of money on college basketball totals or spreads for certain leagues. And so when you see $13,000 on a player prop for the NHL, this is incredibly insightful. even on Landeskog, to see $5,500. This is something that you can't see on the positive EV tool, right? And so this is where, in my opinion, sharp money is worth it on its own. I mean, I could make an argument that I really, really, really should have put a lot more money down on this play. Granted, it's an underdog odds play. It's in the plus 140 range. But I should have wagered way more money on this play. Like, I should treat this with a lot of respect. But again, it's early, so I kind of have to just wait and see. So I'm just going over here, guys, to look at Donovan Mitchell under 6.5 assists on Props Builder. At minus 130 odds. Okay. And we're going to submit that one. So there we go. That's the player points. My bad. Let me do, can I search? Yeah, I can search here. I don't understand. That's what the search bar is meant for. Let's remove the hockey plays. Unless it already disappeared. Maybe it was gone. Maybe it got swooped up. Yeah, so now I got to put this Mitchell play in on my own. So I'll pull this off to the side so I can grab this one. But yeah, it's definitely insightful. But, you know, for a lot of guys, and this is something that I like to bring up for those of you that are new to sports betting, if you've been betting a market and you have less than 1,000 bets in that market, you don't really have a good representation of if you've been lucky, unlucky, if it's variance, if it's not variance. You really need to get over 1,000 bets for that market to really have an idea of what's going on. That's why I know for NHL goal scorers, I'm just running insanely hot. Even if I have 300 to 400 bets in there, it's still just not enough. So when you're looking at certain markets and you're looking at for positive EV betting, like, is this working? This is what you need to at least get 1,000 bets in before you can really make an accurate assessment of that market. And that's why I'm not really giving you my opinion on the sharp money tool, because it's way too early. Keontae George, okay, $1,500. You can get this on Hard Rock, DraftKings. Also, just a good indicator, guys, that if you can get this on DraftKings and it's the similar odds to Hard Rock, like, I like that a lot. There we go. I can get this in over here. Perfect. What's my favorite money line or over-under play tonight? For money lines, there's not very many times that I have too many opinions on money lines. These are all a little too lower liquidity for me. In terms of the over-unders, it's a great question. I would say out of, I'm not really. Let me see. If we'll look for some main market plays here to see what's what. I would say I'll give out one play that I gave out on Dub Club, which is I really like the first quarter over in the Hawks game tonight. 60.5 points. I like that over. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in the first quarter. So that would be my favorite if you're looking for a free pick. That's what I would say I really like the most tonight. A D-Gen bet that I just like tonight that's not really EV-based is the under in the Jets-Patriots game, because the Jets' offense sucks. But the Jets' defense sucks too. So I expect the Patriots to win maybe like 27-6 tonight, something maybe like that. But I do like the under in the Jets-Patriots game as a D-Gen. D-Gen play. Let's see what else we got going on. Man, so much going on. Let's go back over to the NHL Anytime Goal Scores. Is that we have anything else that's really popping? And it's still Shane Pinto. This isn't nearly as good as it once was, so Pinnacle's made me move or has a certain opinion on this, but that's really, really unfortunate. And I'm running a giveaway, guys, on X right now for, speaking of a D-Gen parlay, some of these long shot lotto parlays, guys, they're not always EV. I like running these long shot lotto parlays for account health, right? Put $10 down. It looks like I'm a casual square better, guys. I would always recommend you do that. You know, if you can put down $1 to $5 and just bet your opinion on a random parlay that's like 4 or 5 legs plus. That definitely helps with account health. I think far too often, a lot of people on OddsJam just get so comfortable and used to betting sharp plays. One way to keep your account healthy is to mix in and bet your opinions for small amounts of money, but put those long shot lottos together tonight, right? Put together a 3-leg anytime touchdown score, maybe a first touchdown score with 2 anytimes. Put that Justin Fields touchdown with, a Kayshon Boutte DeMario Douglas, right? And make that a long shot lotto and see if you can have some fun with that. But don't be afraid to bet your opinions on crazy long shot parlays for $1. Keep it under $5, $5 max, and have some fun with it. That would be something that I would definitely recommend. We'll look at NFL and NHL player props, DVigging to Pinnacle for today. And let's use worst case. And let's go anything above, let's say 4%. Okay, 7 results. Breece Hall, over 2.5 catches. This is Sports Zeno play. Outside of Sports Zeno, not where really anywhere else you can get this. This happens a lot with Sports Zeno. It's kind of a onesie type of book. Emmett Finney to get a point tonight, Bovada, ESPN Bet, and Hard Rock. Where can you attack Bovada the most? NBA player props and NHL player props. Obviously, you can use them on Props Builder as well, but they're a great book to attack for that. And again, you see 3 sports books that have the same odds as Hard Rock, like ESPN and Bovada is the same as Hard Rock. Yeah, I would love to bet that. Slightly EV on Caesars and DraftKings. But again, even though it's a low amount of money on Pinnacle, there was a big movement. Granted, this was about 10 hours ago, but I would still be willing to bet this, no doubt about that. On Fanatics, try your dangest to put this 2-leg parlay together. Again, I mentioned this before, guys, but if you are into parlay betting or you want to test your hand out of parlay betting, most of you probably in this chat are very limited on Fanatics. Start betting 2-leg parlays on Fanatics and then just track your results. Have Pickett track your results on Fanatics. See how you're doing EV parlay betting. Even if you can only bet $1 to $5 on these, this is a way that you can start to mix in parlay betting, get used to betting parlays, and see how your ROI shapes up if you track this for a month, right? Most of you guys, if you're like me, maybe don't want to bet too many parlays, EV betting parlays, because you just want to bet straight bets or arbitrage. But if you start to mix in some parlay bets, I've made a video on this talking about this is a great strategy to use on your limited accounts. This would be an example here where I would bet a 2-leg parlay over on Fanatics, even if it's only for like $1.30. Just this is all about testing grounds and practicing different strategies. Klingberg, I put this earlier today on Onyx. Player points, the over. Anything above plus 119 is good to go. So FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, Ballybet. Again, another little indicator to me like this is a good play. I'm not worried about FanDuel because they got the same odds as Ballybet and Fanatics, and those books are a joke to beat. So like this is one where I definitely want to go over and bet this. Onyx, like we mentioned, guys, I believe is now flipped back to copying FanDuel's odds. They no longer copy DraftKings odds. If you guys see it differently, obviously DM me and email me, let me know. But I've been seeing the past 2 days Onyx pairing up back together again with FanDuel. Looks like they broke up with DraftKings. They got back with their ex. We all know what that's like. So that's been the case right here with Onyx and FanDuel for sure. Dude, I'm already at 1:10. Holy shit. Wind me up and watch me go. Guys, that's where I'm going to stop the stream. I'm out of breath. Need some oxygen. Got to get some food. I will be on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Otherwise, though, enjoy the football. Enjoy all the sports tonight. Questions, email me, DM me. Check out Dub Club. Check out coaching if you want to check that out as well. Set up a call with me. But have a great evening, guys, and I'll talk to you guys mañana.